St. Lucia, this is Openmike, and we're now back to the third segment of our program. During this segment, there are a couple areas we're going to discuss, and that is the impact of the internet, the consumer brands, the distribution channels, social media, Facebook, TripAdvisor, and shopping around. And on that score, I have to ask Feolla to do that because this is right up her alley and she knows exactly what you're talking about. Feolla, the impact of the internet on the tourism industry.
Yes, Dad. In all fairness, there was a statement recently that said the internet is as important as water. When your internet goes down, you're out of the loop. You can't connect. There's today's young people who don't know life pre-internet. So me and you know life without the internet. We know about fax machines. We know about posting a letter. Young people today don't understand that language. And it's made them very impatient. And it means they want everything now for now. So for travel and tourism, it really changed how I do business. I used to do about 500,000 air miles a year, so 3 million miles, I've done year to date with some carriers. In all fairness, that has impacted how I do my travel and my work, because now I can sit anywhere, and thanks to St. Lucia's internet being as good as it is now, I can be based here and do so much more work. So distribution channels for a hotelier, that's critical. We're talking Expedia, Orbitz, online shopping. There's not one person you can say hasn't been to that. That's impacted the Caribbean market because travel agents, young salespeople today, they don't know what a travel agent is. So they're not going to go and book a travel through a travel agent and wait for a piece of paper. And they know their business. The internet has made us much more informed. You mentioned how much people read. We all read a lot. We know a lot. But social media can also be antisocial because it means we don't talk to each other. But it does mean for my business and the hotel product that we're trying to sell at Coco Palm is that the distribution channels need to be well versed, well oiled, well greased, and we have to keep checking it and making sure those channels are showing us for sale all the time. It then leads on to social media. You're talking Facebook, you're talking TripAdvisor. TripAdvisor is a double-edged sword. It can make or break you. You're telling me that you have somebody in your restaurant who got a sour grapefruit juice and they're not going to tell the restaurant manager my juice is bad. Instead, they're going to sit there on their phone and tell you, you know what, I'm at that restaurant gave me a bad juice, so I'm going to give them a bad review. Then my waiter fixes it, and that review doesn't get updated to say, oh, actually, I can go back and respond, but they've already done the damage. So you've got to be on your game all the time because everything is in live time. Everything is instant.
Yeah, these are the challenges of what we face today as a result of the speed at which we're doing things. Mm-hmm. Social media.
Yeah, we're talking Facebook. Every young person today, it's all about selfies and where I am and checking in and making sure people can see who I'm with and hobnobbing and dropping names. There's a fine line, okay? You can overexpose yourself. But social media shouldn't be about advertising. It should be about engaging people in a product. Yeah.
But they don't use it for that only. Now, you talked about the internet and so forth. Mm-hmm. Another thing that has affected St. Lucia tremendously is the fact that a lot of the small shop owners have closed down because people are now shopping online. They're bringing in the stuff. They bring it in barrels and all that kind of thing. Right. So, when a government is running a country today, they themselves have to be savvy conscious of what is going on. What are the drawbacks that all these things are present? Because you can't stop people from doing those things because that's the progress. I mean, I want to commend the Minister Fletcher, the Minister for Sustainability and Communications, who was recently in the Bahamas where the what you call the communication industries like Digicel and Lime and so forth were putting forward a suggestion that they should cut off Facebook and social media and Magic Jack because they're losing $150 million a year. And the minister was quite strong about that. And he said to them clearly, if you want us to be kicked out of power, you won't touch that. And he is right, and you have to give the man a lot of marks for that. But by the same token, we need now, these things are not going to go away. So how do you respond to those things to help people? Because all that is causing job losses and frustration, because all the people who lost their businesses, how are they going to be re-employed? We have to find a way to helping those people.
Well, I see it in travel, where travel agents now have to charge a fee to process that. So that's an added charge that you're going to have to your processing your booking. Joe Blow ain't going to pay that, especially if you're going to come to a hotel like ours that is cost-conscious and budget-conscious hoteliers. The larger properties, if it's a honeymoon property or a destination where you're spending 10 grand for the week, you don't want anything to go wrong. Some countries really instill insurance, so they have to buy it with a bonded, bona fide supplier. Same thing with tours on the island. You have the rogue traders on the beach, and you have those who are selling tours, and your consumer is shopping around. So it's a lot of price matching and knowing about that. You have to instill the security of confidence of buying within you. As far as jobs and where it goes, you're creating new jobs. You now have people that are able to go shopping for you in Miami, fill your barrel and ship it for you. So now you don't have to travel, you don't have to pay airfare, you don't have to pay hotel, you don't have to buy food, you don't have to rent a car. You just pay this supplier. So that's a new job, a new career. So it's all very innovative. It's all very new. There's no hardcore secret of where it's going to be.
But based on all of what that's being said there now, I mean, what advice can you give a government or an administration to deal with those ongoing issues? Because I have sat back and I've watched it getting worse and worse, and because everybody is cutting back. So what will you live in the UK? You travel a lot to the US. I mean, for instance, I was watching something in London recently, where take with Amazon, the people who would give the packages, the fact that they were not at home when they dropped the packages. Some people have now opened up a warehouse in London where they open 24 hours a day and they receive your and you can come in and they're making money. So it's one thing leading, and that's what, by being proactive. So we down here need to sharpen our skills to work the same way. This is Openmike, and we're now coming to the end of the third segment of our program. We'll be right back.